When people experience deep sorrow, the instinct is to look upward. We call out, searching for an external power to pull us out of pain. The source of that pain usually starts with body consciousness. We look in the mirror and believe our identity is strictly tied to our physical form. We mistake the flesh, the bones, and the organs for the actual doer of our actions. But the true self is a separate, incorporeal entity, the soul. It is a tiny, glowing star that resides in the center of the forehead, acting through the body's organs without being made of them. Mistaking a physical shell for the eternal soul creates the I and mine of the ego. This identification buries the soul's original piece under layers of physical attachment, making it impossible to find lasting relief from sorrow. This wheel maps out human existence. We began in a pure golden age, descending over 84 births. Life after life, we accumulate sanskars, impressions that stick to the soul. These layers pile up, slowly degrading our original purity. For centuries, wise men and traditional gurus have tried to understand this spiritual decay. But relying on earthly philosophy, they lack the map of how the soul navigates this 84 birth cycle. We try everything to correct the course, but the soul is entirely non-physical. The idea of washing away accumulated impurities with physical river water is a ritual that leaves the internal soul completely unchanged. Humanity is effectively trapped in a spiritual vacuum. The entire world is decaying, and because everyone is caught in the same downward momentum, no human being has the leverage to purify the system from within. To cleanse a system this degraded requires an outside force. It requires the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, stepping in to act as the ultimate purifier. He is not a massive physical idol. Ontologically, he is exactly like us. He is a tiny, incorporeal point of light. Some philosophies claim that every human soul is actually a piece of the Supreme Soul. This diagram shows the distinction. While we are locked in a continuous loop of birth, death, and decay, the Supreme Soul remains entirely outside the cycle. Because he never takes a physical birth, he never accumulates human impurities. That absolute immunity is exactly what allows him to reach into the timeline and pull humanity out of the decay. Notice this specific marker on the timeline. This is the confluence age. It is the precise chronological tipping point where the old, impure world is dismantled, so a new, pure heaven can be established. When he intervenes, he arrives in a densely populated, chaotic foreign land, where human opinions are deeply conflicted, and suffering has reached its absolute peak. Because he has no physical body of his own, he enters an impure human vessel, a chariot named Prajapita Brahma. Through this vessel, he delivers divine directions, known as Shrimat, and teaches the pure connection of Raja Yoga. The confluence age is brief, and it is urgent. It is the single window of opportunity for souls to receive the exact, direct knowledge required to finally escape the cycle of sorrow. Recognition of these divine directions shifts the focus to the individual's response. With the Supreme Soul providing the map, the next step depends on your willingness to act. A major obstacle is the ego of the intellect, the habit of weighing divine instruction against flawed human logic, or questioning whether the directions might lead to loss. Escaping the cycle requires following Shrimat with absolute trust. You follow the directions exactly, even when your rational mind suggests the path is risky. When you act without ego, you experience a massive psychological relief. By trusting the guidance completely, the ultimate responsibility for your fate shifts off your shoulders, directly onto the infallible Supreme Soul. This surrender results in the yogyukt stage. It is a state characterized by an absence of doubt and a release from the constant loop of waste thoughts that usually clutter the mind. This internal freedom reorients your daily actions. You dedicate your energy to serving others, lifting them up to be worthy of happiness, and moving through life without causing anyone sorrow. Worldly opposition will still happen, but instead of fighting back with anger, you survive conflict by wielding absolute sweetness, humility, and forgiveness. Absolute faith in the Supreme Soul absorbs past sins and clears the static. It builds a mind so calm and completely unshakable that it becomes perfectly worthy to inherit the incoming golden age.